Hey guys, this is Red and Blue, and it is game day. The Champions League is upon us. PSG going to Monaco for the away leg of our playoff in the Champions League. A big game tonight, 8:45 p.m. And so I thought I'd share all of the latest information, everything that we know on game day, the latest fitness news on players mostly, and what we can expect from this game. Before we get into it, quick request, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I usually say it at the end of the videos, but I thought I'd say it up front. If you don't want to miss any future videos on PSG, I do basically every day. If you don't want to miss the debrief of the game tomorrow, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to get notified. Now, on to Monaco. A couple of interesting news today in terms of player fitness. First, on the PSG side, we have a very slight question mark around Ousmane Dembélé and whether he's going to be up for this game. If you remember, he came out of the game against Rennes having felt a slight pain to his lower part of his leg. Something that subsided since then, but what we heard is that in the pre-game training yesterday, he actually felt something to the back of his thigh, so in different part of the leg. He still went through the training session. He was apparently doing some sprints to check himself and get a feel for himself. He was seen talking with the doctor of the PSG team, but he finished the training session normally, and the word on the street is that he was feeling good about it, and so should still be part of the team for the game. Question marks though, we know Luis Enrique likes to be careful with players, especially in a season where we faced a lot of injuries, with a player like Dembélé, who we know can be a bit fragile. So yeah, a little bit of a question mark. Hopefully the player is feeling good and feeling fit for it. Obviously, with his talk in the media after Rennes, he's got a lot of things to prove and to show up for tonight. So hopefully he's going to be up for it. And actually, like on the PSG side, I'm going to segue into that. Dembélé's declarations after Rennes were a big part of the press conferences ahead of the game. Luis Enrique basically punted and didn't really rebound on it. João Neves, who was the PSG player, was part of the press conference. Actually said that the mood is good in the dressing room. I'm kind of paraphrasing as I speak. Mood is good in the dressing room. The players are confident. We are ready for tomorrow. Ousmane spoke. He already said it, but I think he really wants us to do even better than what we did last season. And what we did last season was play as a team collectively. It's one of the great strengths of PSG, and we show it in every game in the way we play. And I think this is what he wanted to underline. And then he goes on and he says, when we have something to say to other players, we say it face to face, which, if you want to create trouble, you can take it to say Dembélé shouldn't have spoken in the media. Really, in the context, it felt more like, we don't have any communication issues. And, when we have things to say to each other, we say things to each other, and there's no breakdown in communication. Another tidbit, actually, that would tend to show that came out in the media is that we know Vitinha actually came out after Rennes with essentially the same thing as Dembélé. Marquinhos, in private, is apparently along the same lines as well. And so there is, a group of senior leaders within this squad who say, hey, we've got to be more collective. We've got to make the efforts for one another, whether that's taking defensive run, whether that's taking offensive run as decoys, and, pass the ball when there's a player in a better position. It's not, I think all of them have gone out of their way to say that. It's not targeted to one player, it's targeted to everyone, and it's kind of a call to arm ahead of the important games that we've got coming up. So we'll see, as the squad turns up against Monaco. whether it's, we're going to see a difference in terms of the way they play. But yeah, I think it's honestly, like, I'm split. I think it's good that they're like talking to each other and they're not avoiding the hard topics, which would be definitely worse. I kind of wish it hadn't happened in the media 3 days before a Champions League game, because that's always like creates the environment around PSG. So realistically, as happens before literally every PSG game in the Champions League, on the morning of, there's some article about like some sort of issue with PSG. So this time it was Marquinhos agreeing with Dembélé as a symbol of trouble in the locker room. I don't think it is, but whatever. So they would have found something else anyway. So yeah, we'll see the team tonight. We'll see how they play. Hopefully, it can only be a positive, and we get a win. We get a win for it. On the Monaco side, moving on. A lot of players missing in Monaco, and we kind of knew that ahead of the game, because a lot of them have been missing for a while. But one last minute one, which is their vice captain Thilo Kehrer, who's formerly PSG, their central defender, is apparently sick. He was expected to be a starter for this game, but he's not even part of the group. And so it looks like what I said yesterday in the preview of Monaco, probably playing with 3 at the back. I might have to eat that back because it doesn't look like they've got the numbers to be able to play 3 central defenders. And so it would be a 4-2-3-1 with Caio Henrique, Faith and Teze in central defense, Venderson, then defensive midfield, Camara and Zakaria, and then a line of 3, Akliouche, Golovin, and Adingra with Balogun up front. In terms of the players who are injured, I'll go through it very quickly. Hideki, Dyer, one of their summer signing. Salisu, Ouattara, Cabral, Minamino is a big name. Fati, obviously been injured on and off all season. Pogba, I don't think he's even part of their Champions League squad anymore, because he's basically played like 20 minutes in the beginning of the season. Mawissa, and so Kehrer is the last one. So a lot of players missing for Monaco. They still do have they still put up a group of 20 players, so they're not entirely short or anything. But obviously there's a lot of senior talent that's not going to be available for this game. We'll have to see what it's going to mean for them. I think ultimately, it's. I mean, I'd rather be PSG with only 3 players missing than Monaco with 10. Be very honest. So all the better for us. I think big question mark as well in terms of Akliouche, who was taken off injured from their last league game against Nantes. So word there is that he's fit and he might start the game and so on. But I think there was a lot of uncertainty up until day before the game. And so are they going to take the risk? Is he going to be able to play for 90 minutes? Is he going to be able to play as hard as he would normally? I think those are all good question marks. And I think he is, even if this season he hasn't been performing as well as last season, Akliouche is still one of the top players within this Monaco team, and one of the ones who's most likely to be creating trouble for PSG. So we'll have to see. The game is just a few hours away now, so the pressure is ramping. Like I said in my preview, I hope for me, I'm excited more than anything. I think big games are coming back. The real Champions League, which is the phrase that Luis Enrique used, is back. And I think it's great for us. These are the games that our players really get excited for. These are the games that, as a fan, you want to watch and you want to your team to be part of. I think we don't go into this game with the same sort of strength and the same sort of confidence that we had last season. It's going to be harder. It's Monaco. It's going to be a hard game in Monaco. I do still think fundamentally like we go in as favorite and we go in with the strongest squad, the strongest player, and the strongest possibilities tactically. So nothing to fear. And yeah, like hopefully we get a win from it, and hopefully it's gonna be a good game. We'll see tomorrow. In any case, I'll see you guys here tomorrow for the debrief. We'll do like the full length video for it. In the meantime, let me know in the comment what's your prediction for this game. Again, like please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit the bell to get notified of future videos. Also, like this video, which always massively helps. And don't forget, Champions League is back. And ici c'est Paris!